Oh, hey stupid. I got you a present.
Wow, present for me? Oh, you shouldn't have. I mean, it's great you did. I love presents. I wonder what it could be. I bet it's a...
Just shut up and open it.
So thoughtful.
Don't you dare tease me in front of the internet.
Okay. I hate this movie. It's the worst movie of all time. Why would you get this for me?
Well, I thought you might want to watch it.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to even touch it. I don't want to even smell it. Ugh.
You could review it on your channel.
Are you kidding? I did a review of this thing twice.
That's a sequel.
Sequel.
God's Not Dead 2.
Need I say more? Or as I like to call it, God's Still Not Dead. The movie. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't want to do this. I don't want to watch this thing. I mean, the original was bad enough. I was optimistic going into it. I was like, yeah, maybe this movie could be good. And then it wasn't. It was really bad. And then people were like, no, Vinnie Harned, it wasn't that bad a movie, and the sequel will be much better. So I thought, I'll give it a second chance. And you know what? It was worse than I remembered it being. In fact, it was so bad, I had to go back and do a revisiting review just to talk about how much I hated it even more than before. And now this? Anything would be better than this. I'm sure it's bad. Can we just like, I don't know, give it like 2 stars and move on? Can we just skip this one?
Oh, Vinny, quit being such a big baby about everything. I mean, you've gotten through worse than this. I mean, the world needs you. Just man up.
You know what, guys? That's right. I can't just back away from something just because I don't want to watch it. I've got to stand up for you guys. You guys are counting on me.
Oh, you just shut your mouth for 1 second and watch this movie.
That's right, it's God's Not Dead 2. Yay. As any of you who've watched any of my stuff will know, God's Not Dead is one of my most hated films of all time. I know people say that because I'm Christian I'm supposed to like it, but come on guys, it was poorly written, spent no time introducing characters, and relied on Christian cliches and stereotypes to tell its story and spread its kinda blatant message.
But now, Pureflix has once again brought their infamous production back in the spotlight with the sequel God's Not Dead 2 releasing earlier this year. It seems the God's Not Dead texts are coming in again.
I gotta say though, this box art is even more blunt than the last one. I mean, look over here, you got all these atheist bigots like, yeah, burn that Christian. And over here, everyone's like, yeah, I'm so happy, it's God's Not Dead too. What gets me even more is on the back of the box. When high school history teacher Grace Wesley is asked a question about Jesus in class, her recent response lands her in deep trouble. The ensuing epic court case could expel God from the classroom and the public square once and for all. So what, we're gonna expel God from the public square for good? Like, there will never be another educational reform? And how can God in any way be victimized by a court case? I mean, he is the highest court. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's time that we check this thing out and got this God's Not Dead thing over once and for all.
What about God's Not Dead 3?
No, Pureflix, just don't do that. Don't do this to me. Don't you dare make a third one.
So the film starts out, once again, with a montage where we meet all these different people, or excuse me, meet all these different people. There were supposed to be quotation marks there. There you go.
Oh no, these people are praying? They're gonna get in trouble.
So the film takes us on a tour showing different people. Some are characters from the previous film, like the Chinese guy in the past year, while others are new characters. Not that it makes much difference either way, they don't get introduced.
Ooh, I reckon that hurt.
Wait, is that this girl's boyfriend? Why are we looking at this? Is it important?
Curse you, Kevin, you did this to me!
Okay, I'm actually really confused about this. Did this girl's boyfriend move out or something? What is going on?
Brooke, we're all upset, but we need to move on.
Honey, you're a junior now. It's your make or break year.
Really? I always thought the senior year was the make or break year.
Can you give Marlene and I a ride to school today?
I'm sorry, honey. I don't have time. I have an 8:30 with Mark Shelley at White and Wolf.
What? Richard, you didn't say anything. How did...
Well, we've established already this family is clearly messed up. I mean, it's all based on stereotypes. We have no real reason to care, but whatever.
Brooke, I'm serious, honey. You need to get focused. Or you could say goodbye, Stanford, hello, somewhere state.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to be worried. It's not like college makes that much of a difference nowadays. Besides, I know plenty of losers who made it into college. Sheesh, parents these days.
Yikes.
Wow. And I thought the acting in the first film was bad. They should definitely have stuck with the least seniors.
You don't have to keep doing this.
Oh, are you kidding? This is the best part of my day, Gramps.
You know, if it weren't for calling him Gramps just one time, I would have no idea who he was. I mean, the first time I watched the film, I thought he was her dad all the way through it.
Honey, you know I'm not going to be around here forever. And you might want to start thinking about some other guy you want to have breakfast with.
Hint, hint.
What do you say? I take you out for bacon and eggs this morning. My treat.
Not after your last cholesterol test.
Typical teacher. Thinks she knows everything. Whoa, that girl has holes in her jeans. I bet she's not a Christian.
You know you're gonna miss the kids when you're gone, Rizzo.
No, Grace, that's sweet, but no, I won't.
The older I get, the more difficult these kids are to deal with. I happen to think that difficult students can be a blessing.
Grace, honey, when is this optimism ever gonna wear off?
Oh man, if only these teachers were all Christians, then they wouldn't be so grumpy.
Bill.
What do you mean we don't have Bill? Where's Bill?
David, why are you always so sad?
Aha! The African missionary is back. Now we can have more of this.
God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
Brooke, are you okay?
I'm fine. I lied.
Liar!
Everybody's asked if there's anything that they can do, but the truth is no one can do anything because the only thing that I really want is 5 more minutes to tell my brother how I really felt about him.
Oh, it was her brother? Okay, I'm starting to figure this out. Eventually.
Did your brother believe there was something more? Do you?
I don't know.
You never let anything get to you. How do you do that?
Jesus.
Then we see the reporter lady from the last movie, and what do you know? Her cancer is all gone. Who'd have thought, right?
How'd it go, Amy?
Michael, my cancer's... it's gone.
It's a miracle.
That's incredible.
It's almost like this is a movie. Man, wouldn't it be great if everyone would just get saved? Then no one would die of cancer. Right?
Prayer is a powerful thing.
Wow, this film seems almost like it's riding on the coattails of War Room.
Sponsor spot!
How many people are carrying boxes here? No one can carry boxes back and forth that fast.
While I was loading one of the boxes onto the truck, I noticed this and I thought you might want to keep it.
You know, this part might be more emotional if we'd actually gotten a chance to meet her brother and live through the pain of losing him. But of course, this film doesn't have time for it with all its side characters. Character development? That's for secular films.
So Grace Wesley is teaching a class on nonviolent resistance when all of a sudden she gets asked a question about Jesus.
Isn't that sort of like what Jesus meant when he said that we should love our enemies?
Yes.
Ooh, she said it. Now she's gonna get it and get it good.
Now, there's nothing wrong with answering this question. Honestly, I don't think in a real life situation she would have gotten in trouble for it. But then to go and do this...
You have heard it said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you.
What are you doing? You can't just quote scripture as a teacher in a public school. You're gonna get gotted. I mean, arguments could be made. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. But given the fact that you're working for a government-funded public education institute and you quote scripture, of course you're gonna get into trouble. Seriously, it's like she's trying to get reprimanded here.
So then we hop over to see our good friend, the Chinese guy. Martin. His name is Martin.
How many questions have you got? So far, 147.
I counted them.
Josh encouraged me to write them down and be as comprehensive as possible. Of course he did. Well, I'll have to thank him next time I see him.
But definitely not in this movie.
Did this happen? If you're asking whether I responded to a student's question, yes. If you're asking whether her question and my answer both referenced Jesus as it was relevant to the history lesson we were discussing, again, I'd have to say yes.
Why do you have to use so many words just to say yes? It's like they wanted to make this as confusing as possible.
Joe, why is there coffee on the floor, man? Did you do this?
Well, if you're asking about the coffees in my mug a short while ago, which pertains to the coffee colored stain on your carpet, I would have to say yes.
I don't really know what any of that means, but here, have some stain remover.
We are here to hear your side of the story. A student in your second period history class asked a question about parallels between the teachings of Gandhi and remarks allegedly made by Jesus. And your answer incorporated specific, detailed.
Yes. What were you thinking, Grace?
How?
Do you believe your response was in line with district policy?
Yes.
No, you don't. You were clearly pausing before answering the question like you weren't sure if you should. You're guilty.
Unfortunately for you, I'm fairly certain the school board will disagree.
Miss Wesley is currently under disciplinary review. All of her classes have been reassigned until things are settled. I don't want you to have any contact with her. None whatsoever.
You can't talk to Charlie like that. You're not the boss of him.
Right after, actually, I didn't have anyone on second. I just did it then.
Grace?
Are you?
I've come to marry you, my dear.
You don't look like a lawyer.
Thank you.
I'm not sure I meant that as a compliment.
I'm determined to take it as one.
Okay, this guy seems pretty cool so far. I mean, that was a pretty cool comeback. Just keep it up, movie, and maybe you can still redeem yourself.
Educational law isn't exactly a common specialty.
So what's the good news?
I don't like to lose, and I'm willing to fight for you.
Are you a believer?
You mean a Christian? No, but I think that's an advantage. You're passionate about what you believe. I mean, let's face it, it's why you're in trouble in the first place. But it blinds you to the realities of procedure.
So the thing that gets me about this lawyer isn't that he's a stereotypical person. In fact, surprisingly, he's not even a believer, and yet he's a good guy. And it never really resolves him being an unbeliever, but at the same time, it kind of clashes with the way he defends God in court later on, as you guys will see.
Okay, I agree to let you represent me.
Good.
Good.
He came in with some questions. 147 of them, to be exact. Feel like I've been hit by a truck, loaded with Bibles. Big, heavy ones. Those thick covers.
Yawn!
And this board should be aware that in the event of such termination, which we would view as both wrongful and without cause, she reserves all rights of redress.
I may have a solution.
I doubt it.
A response from Ms. Wesley confessing the inappropriateness of.
Okay, so why not just say I won't quote scripture in school anymore?
No.
Grace.
I can't.
The movie would be way too short. Plus, what about that quote-unquote epic court case they talked about in the movie box?
I am not going to be afraid to say the name Jesus.
But you're not in trouble for saying the name Jesus. You quoted scripture in school. That's a no-no.
She's not gonna go for it.
How do we make this go away and not get blood on our hands?
Blood? Ooh, murder! There's been murder done here.
Defendant, we don't have the financial wherewithal to fight that.
They've already been in touch. They aren't interested in punishing the school. They want her. They've been dreaming of a case like this.
I'm sorry, movie, but that's just dumb.
We've been wanting to get a Christian lady in trouble. We just love all the posts we see about it on Facebook. Uh-oh, this guy has shoes. He must be the bad guy.
Showtime. But next year, when you're applying to all the colleges, you'll be able to tell the story of how Brooke was part of a landmark constitutional case. There is not an Ivy League admissions board that could resist that.
Hey, Mr. College Man!
Yeah?
I just want to let you know that I was involved in a case with the teacher.
That's the kind of people we want in this year's school.
We're going to prove once and for all that God is dead.
No! Oh, now I have to sing this song again.
Why are they doing this?
They want to make an example of you. To them, your beliefs are like a disease whose time has come and gone. Sort of like smallpox or polio.
Okay, it was cool at first, but is this guy only gonna talk in allegories and cool phrases? I mean, he's a lawyer and all, but still. He's so unrelatable.
What do we do?
We fight.
We win.
What the heck is going on out there?
Brooke, this is the last time I'm going to tell you. If you don't stop this right now, there are going to be some consequences.
Oh, teachers and people in charge of school. They're such jerks. If only they could be more like Christians.
Shouldn't you be paying attention?
Please remember, consumption of alcoholic beverages, non-prescription drugs, and weapons are prohibited in the courtroom.
Still, isn't it your civic duty?
You said civic.
It's called voir dire. It means that we get a chance to eliminate any potential juror that may have a bias against you. So how are you feeling?
I'm good.
Hello. Hello.
What is your favorite TV show?
Duck Dynasty.
Peremptory challenge, Your Honor. Duck Dynasty.
We can't be having no Duck Dynasty.
Welcome to the jury, sir. Henceforth, juror number 12. I hope you enjoy your service to the community.
Better chance of being struck by lightning.
Ooh, is the atheist gonna be hit by lightning in the end? Ooh, that would be awesome.
When I was battling for my life, I was willing to hold on to anything, including God.
So this lady is basically... you know what? Who cares? It's not important to the story anyway.
Now in this film, I feel like the reporter lady's story is a little more interesting. It's someone who turned to Christ when they were about to die, and yet didn't die, and is now questioning whether or not to stick with their faith even now that they're cured. And is now exploring her faith in an unbiased perspective. That's a pretty interesting idea for a storyline. Thing is, they didn't really do anything with it.
Oh, that's gonna be a great shot with the trailer.
You can't win.
Thanks. Maybe I believe that people that don't do anything wrong shouldn't suffer at the hands of the law.
You know what hate is, Tom?
Hate? You can't just go hating on things.
But that's a secret, Tommy. They don't need to hate her. They just need to see a tiny flaw in her. A half-truth. A small inconsistency. Just a little bit of doubt. And they'll find against her.
Wow. That is so sinister. And also doesn't make much sense.
Nice shoes.
Aw, I wish my parents had bought better shoes for me.
Because Christianity is not on trial here. Nor is faith on trial. Only Ms. Wesley.
Oh good, so you're not trying to prove God is dead, so we don't have to sing the song now, right? No. Please tell me you don't have to sing the song.
You know, this guy seems familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Now ask any fourth grader, and they're probably familiar with the phrase, separation of church and state.
Hey, do they teach those things in school these days?
She, reciting the words that were allegedly attributed to Jesus, who allegedly lived 2,000 years ago, gave a clear and compelling indication of what she believes, what she supports.
You know, this guy does have a pretty good point. I mean, she did quote quite a bit of scripture in class.
If we grant Miss Wesley the right to do that, and by extension, everyone else, to violate the law based solely on our own private beliefs, then our society will crumble. I believe that. So I implore you, please do not set this precedent.
Wait, I just realized it. This is the bad guy from Winter Soldier. I mean, not the same guy, but I mean, he's so similar to him. Well, except that the bad guy in Winter Soldier was gonna kill 500,000 people, while this guy is gonna take this lady's job, I guess?
What's going on? Brooke is exercising her right to protest. Amy.
Hey, Marlene. Yeah, I just saw the video. What's going on?
So, you remember my friend Brooke?
Yeah?
Well, she got a teacher in trouble for asking her about Jesus.
Ah, that acting is so bad.
Is there any way that I could meet with her?
The teacher?
No. Brooke.
Mr. Endler, your opening statement.
I have here a copy of the Constitution of the United States of America and its Bill of Rights. Arguably the two most important documents in the history of our great nation. But despite Mr. Kane's impassioned rhetoric, you know what you won't find in there? No matter how hard you look. The phrase separation of church and state.
Okay, I don't have anything against what this guy is saying. It's all true and all, but why is it that all of a sudden he sounds like a Christian?
Now, ironically, Jefferson was writing to a Baptist congregation, ensuring them that they would always have the right to believe as they wished. And Mr. Kane will insist loudly and often.
Whoa, what's with the personal attacks, bro?
That is exactly what is on trial. The most basic human right of all, the right to believe.
The right to believe is on trial here. The problem here is that the right to believe is so basic that it hardly qualifies as a right. No one can control what you believe. I mean, I guess you could say mind control or whatever, but in the end, what you believe is something that I generally can't know or control. In the end, there's nothing I or anyone can do to change what you believe. The rights come in when you actually want to act on your beliefs, because that's something that I can see and do something about.
And now it's become this huge deal, and all she did was answer my question. Are you gonna help her?
I don't know. I would at least like to talk to her. Maybe I could help get her story out there.
Great, because everyone's telling me to stay out of it.
What is your heart telling you to do?
No, bad call. Don't listen to your heart. It's your conscience.
So the lawyer guy begins to defend God, I mean grace, like a regular old Phoenix Wright.
Did Ms. Wesley talk about faith issues on the school campus?
All the time. Everybody knows she's a Christian. I don't think she'd chew a stick of gum without praying first. It makes everyone feel awkward.
Mrs. Rizzo, you stated that Miss Wesley talks about her faith all the time. I'm curious, can you give me a specific instance?
Well, not off the top of my head.
Has she ever asked you personally to pray with her?
Objection, Your Honor.
Objection! These pork buns were frozen at the time of the crime. So it's possible they were solid enough to bludgeon someone to death with.
God bless you. Careful, or you might end up on trial.
Mr. Endler.
This guy has got to stop trying to be funny. He's already made the judge hate him.
So when are these religious zealots going to realize it's not only disrespectful of them to push their beliefs on others, in this case, it's actually illegal.
Cheap news broadcast, and also terribly blunt newscaster. Is this kind of stuff really on TV? I mean, I wouldn't know, obviously.
Also, Apex News.
So Grace's lawyer continues to ask questions to one of the teachers, which she botches up.
Did you ever consider that your disapproval of her faith might taint your ability to represent her properly?
Objection. Speculative.
Sustained.
And then the other annoying atheist later, which he also botches up.
Well, would it be fair to say that, except for Christianity, all other forms of diversity are welcome?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll withdraw the question.
Mr. Endler, you seem to have a penchant for injecting commentary where it doesn't belong. You would do well to avoid further provocation of this court.
Seriously, this guy is a terrible lawyer.
These people, they're looking to destroy you, and I don't just mean financially. Do you think it's worth it?
I hope so.
Hope so? Wow. What a lot of faith.
That milk is exquisite.
Oh, yeah, exquisite.
It's the provolone.
Oh good, this guy is back for a couple seconds. I am so excited.
Sorry about the whole car not working thing.
It's okay. I learned my lesson.
He bought a Prius.
Starts every time.
No.
Okay, that was sort of, kind of, a little funny, I guess. Also, kind of pointless, though.
Demanding that we submit copies of our sermons for the last 3 months for review.
Can they do that?
They tried it in Houston.
And it failed miserably, but hey, I guess these guys just don't have much of a backbone.
I'm serving on a jury in a case right now that touches on these issues. Of course, I'm not allowed to talk about it. Stand by and do nothing. Pressure that we're feeling today is going to mean persecution tomorrow. Whether we admit it or not, we're at war.
Let's go to war.
Against the powers of this world, against the spiritual forces in the heavenly realms.
And the government.
So is this what you always saw yourself doing, the lawyer thing?
No, I wanted to be Batman.
And now DC has officially taken this movie to court.
I was raised in a house without much faith. I was walking home from class, and I turned the corner, and right there in front of me was this church. It had this old sign out front. The sign said, "Who do you say that I am?" And as I read it, I could hear the Lord speak to me. It was the start of a journey that didn't end until I found the answer.
Alright.
你可把你家人的脸都给丢光了，不觉得这样很愚蠢吗？
你只需要睁开你的眼睛。
There's something on your face. It was paid.
从今以后，我没有你这个儿子。
阿爸。
Oh, that is so sad. So the Chinese guy goes to church to play the piano and he runs in a brook.
Do you think I could ask you a few questions?
I heard you playing the piano and knew you'd be the perfect source for wisdom.
He doesn't make mistakes.
But I thought you proved bias. I mean, Principal Kinney and Mrs. Rizzo.
Those were just jabs.
Which you would have made much better if you had stuck to asking questions instead of making personal attacks.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong here. I'm not the law expert, but I think they've missed the point.
I'm not sure I follow.
I'm not sure anyone really follows this movie. This is more convoluted than a story in Sonic Adventure.
Oh no! He talked about Jesus' teachings just like they were any other verifiable fact.
Well, what if they're just that? Ryan admits that Jesus existed. I mean, there's just too much evidence.
Grace, I love it. This is our defense. Jesus as a historic figure, just like everyone else. And you know what? Cain will never see it coming.
Great, let's go call the newsboys now and so they can sing in court. That'll show them.
No, my brother. Like, God gave me the extra 5 minutes that I so desperately needed with him.
What is up with this film and the girls always dressing so immodestly?
Oh, come on, Joe. It's to make it relatable to the common people and attractive to the Christian guys.
I just don't understand why he never told me about his faith.
Sharing one's faith with family, especially not knowing how they will react, can be difficult.
They might disown you like my dad did.
I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even if he dies. And whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?
I do.
Go buy one of those Do You Believe crosses from our other movie.
So back in court, the lawyer guy has in some Christian celebrities to help prove the existence of Jesus.
Can you help me prove the existence of Jesus Christ?
Absolutely. Beyond any reasonable doubt.
How so?
Actually, this court already affirmed it when we were called into session and the date was given. Our calendar has been split between BC and AD based on the birth of Jesus, which is quite a feat if he never existed.
This guy is good.
So I have just one question here. If all these famous guys are witnessing in this case, how is this not all over Christian news? Shouldn't the Alliance Defending Freedom be here? And what about all those Christian activists? Talk about wasted resources.
Also, discount Harley Quinn.
That's lunch. We'll recess until 2 p.m.
So then the reporter lady goes to church to find some answers.
Hi. I was looking for Pastor Dave. My friend Mina, she said I should come see him.
Wait, when did she and Mina become friends?
Even though I've been given this gift, I've been questioning my faith. I know Jesus existed, but I'm struggling to believe.
So remember when the reporter was talking about questioning her faith? Yeah, this is about as far as we hear about that.
Part of you senses Jesus' presence and wishes that he would just go away and leave you alone.
Actually, now that you mention it, I had thought of that.
Hi, I'm Reverend David Hill.
Sermon transcripts, right?
Yes.
Just put it right there. I've been coming in all morning.
Wait, so other pastors have been bringing their sermons in? How's that possible?
Your entire sermons for the past 120 days?
No, that's a letter that I wrote explaining why I'm not going to hand them in.
Excuse me?
You dare defy me? You will die.
You know the old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, don't you? I have another saying. A nail that sticks up gets hammered down.
Wait, this guy's just a government worker, right? Do those guys really take it that personal when you break the law?
I'm starting to feel that hammer. I think he poisoned me.
Marlene, I have an idea. Come over as soon as you can, okay?
That's all the message you have for her? Why didn't you just text?
You really ought to ask to be excused.
No, I'm fine. I really need to be here.
Juror number 12, is there something you'd like to say?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I gotta...
Because they just lost the only juror they could count on.
Wow, that was a quick change. Gasp! Is he dead? Oh wait, it's jury number 12. I wanted that to happen. Good, he's dead.
You've killed me!
Good. Brooke! Marlene. It's not looking good in there.
Guess you might as well go home now.
Oh no, without a Christian on the jury, we're gonna lose for sure now. So much tension.
Are you prepared to fulfill your duties as an alternate?
Yes. No, not Harley Quinn. Might as well have the Joker for the judge.
Then the lawyer guy has this forensic scientist student in for witness to prove even more that Jesus was real, which would be great and all if the whole thing didn't feel so scripted.
If I can borrow your Bible.
Oh, I have a Bible. I should probably go to court for that.
Detective Wallace, I'm not going to try to match biblical knowledge with you. But isn't it true that these gospel accounts vary widely in what they say? That there are numerous discrepancies between these accounts?
Absolutely. But that's exactly what we should expect.
I don't quite understand that.
This guy's kind of dumb. What? Some people didn't get the story exactly the same? It must be fake!
Actually, that's an argument used by a lot of atheists, so...
Oh. I apologize for that.
And as a devout Christian, you feel you succeeded?
No, Mr. Kane, I think you misunderstand me. When I began this study, I was a devout atheist.
What?
Christian environment. Although I do think I have an unusually high regard for the value of
myself.
Motion to strike, Your Honor.
Granted, jury is instructed to ignore Detective Wallace's last remarks.
Wait, they can just ignore things like that? Like, I didn't like that last bit of evidence, so let's just throw it out, please.
Mr. Endler, your next witness?
We don't have one, Your Honor.
She didn't do anything wrong. She was just trying to help.
Order! I'll have order!
Order! Order in this totally real, not at all made up, fake courtroom.
Your Honor, we'd like to call Miss Brooke Thawley to the stand.
Do you understand that you will have to answer all the questions truthfully, regardless of your feelings?
No, I'm a Christian now. Christians never lie.
So Brooke is called the witness, which seems like a good thing, when all of a sudden...
You mean to say that there were other moments in which she talked to you about her faith?
Yes, but it was outside of school and it was only one time.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
You didn't ask.
You didn't ask, so I didn't tell.
I have to prepare you, Grace. We're gonna lose this case.
Objection, Your Majesty! We're losing!
You were right. I'm gonna lose everything.
My house, my job, my car, even my keys.
I'm not even allowed to talk to her. How do I let her know that I'm sorry without making things worse?
I can't tell you what to do, but whatever you do, just...
Don't burst into a court of law and start yelling.
Now I understand what it is you weren't allowed to talk about.
I wish I still wasn't allowed to talk about it. She needs me on that jury.
Have faith, David. God's plan is at work.
Well, I'm glad at least someone in this film has a little faith.
Hey, Martin. Something different about you. Are you okay?
I should say so.
Something funny's happening to the sides of my mouth.
Oh no, he's died it.
Are we missing someone?
Sorry, Your Honor. My apologies to the court. Your Honor, I have one final witness to call. Grace Wesley.
What?
Miss Wesley, please approach the witness stand.
Wait, you can't just call a surprise witness. That's against the law.
Grace, I want you to do something for me. I want you to apologize. I want you to say you're sorry and that you made a mistake.
I can't do that.
Why?
That would be a lie.
So what? Everyone lies.
Not everyone.
Oh man, sick Christian burn, bruh.
Oh, that's right. The other night, didn't you tell me that Jesus spoke to you personally?
This guy must have taken debating advice from Josh Wheaton. You want to win? You yell and give out personal information.
Answer the question!
Answer the question! Answer the question!
No, stop yelling. I'm scared.
He asked, "Who do you say that I am?"
Your Honor, I think we've all heard quite enough.
Miss Endler, are you looking to change your client's plea?
No, Your Honor. I say she's innocent of all wrongdoing. But I'm asking the jury to find against her anyway.
No, booyah!
I think it's time that we stop pretending that we can trust a person like this to serve in a public capacity.
That's enough, Miss Endler.
Then we can all go to our graves content, knowing that we stomped out the last spark of faith that was ever exhibited in the public square.
That's enough, Miss Endler. Miss Endler, that's enough.
And hides their beliefs, then we arrest them and fine them.
Mr. Endler, you're out of order. I charge you with contempt.
Oh, finally.
If we're going to insist that a Christian's right to believe is subordinate to all other rights, then it's not a right. Somebody is always going to be offended.
Hey, I should put that in the comment section of this video.
So I say we get on with it. Cite the law, charge the jury, and send them off to deliberate.
So be it. My instructions to you are simple. Uphold the law.
Man, I kind of think that the judge is the only reasonable person in this court. Or in this film for that matter. Except maybe Harley Quinn here.
Remind me to send him a thank you note.
I'm the bad guy.
Come on, movie. Stop trying to manufacture tension. We already know what's gonna happen. This is a pure flicks film for Pete's sake.
Drag it out even more, Amy has to call the newsboys during one of their concerts.
She's calling about a woman who's on trial for her faith. This woman has risked everything for Jesus.
Except her life, of course.
Here comes the jury. Oh man, they look serious.
Have you reached a decision? We have, Your Honor.
Drum roll, please.
We, the jury, find in favor of Grace Wesley.
Yes, victory, peace. Oh man, that charge of contempt and jury nullification was just so worth it.
What the? I'm gonna go get hit by a car now, or maybe struck by lightning. Wait, what's going on? Whoa! Harley Quinn is a Christian? She has to be because she has a cross tattoo. Wait, what?
Hey. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, he can be that other guy she has breakfast with.
God's not dead.
No. Now we really have to sing this song, don't we? Well, might as well get it over with.
dead, he's surely alive.
Join the movement. Text everyone you know. Wait, 6 words this time? That's stupid. I don't have time to write all that. So that's God's Not Dead. The second one. And honestly, I personally feel like this film is in some ways better than the first one. I mean, it was more engaging, to be honest, and the court case was, to give him credit, pretty epic. But even as that's concerned, I feel like there are a lot of questions which haven't been answered yet. I feel like they should have been answered at the end of the movie at least. Or worse yet, oh no. Please don't give us a sequel. For starters, how is this a victory? Her lawyer used an emotional plea to sway the jury in favor of Grace Wesley, an illegal move I might add. You see, because of the concept of discovery in court, each side has to be prepared to deal with evidence. So witnesses and evidence cannot be presented as surprises because the other side won't have an opportunity to prepare for it. So both Brooks and Grace Wesley's witnesses wouldn't be allowed because the other side didn't have time to prepare for them. Also, even with the low blows and dirty moves aside, because, you know, she was a Christian lady and you can do whatever you want as long as the Christian wins. But still, are we supposed to now believe that everything is just going to be hunky-dory at her school? It's already been made clear that the people in charge of school are biased against Christianity. So if she goes back to work at the school, well, she's going to be exposed to a hostile work environment. And if she quits her job at the school, well, good luck finding a new job now that your name is all over the place. As far as the film goes, it's got a lot of problems that the first film has. The amount of side plots aren't as confusing, and they all more or less correlate around the events of the main court case, so that's a good thing, but still, plot structure is just really bad. Seriously, didn't anyone notice how bad the character introduction and development was in the first movie? Yet this film starts with even less introduction to characters and goes all over the place with the story, using stereotypical atheists to establish the bad guys and expecting us to feel for the main characters purely for the fact that they're Christian. It's not a good movie. To be honest, guys, I don't get it. I don't understand why people like this film. I really don't. I mean, I know lots of things that are pretty bad and yet people like. Some people like Sonic 06. X-Men Origins Wolverine is one of Joe's favorite X-Men movies. And I can see reasons for that, even though those things might not be the best. But in this case, I don't get it. I can't understand why people like this film. I mean, you may agree with it or whatever, but why? Once again, this film took the stance of do whatever it takes to defend your beliefs from those who don't believe, even if it means getting up in arms about it. It tries to justify that by having the atheists be mean, radical haters of Christians, wanting to throw us to the lines at any given moment. Is this really the kind of film you want atheists to judge Christians by? On top of this, the movie criticizes itself all the time. It tried to manufacture tension with characters by making it look like they were having to make really hard choices. But not once did anyone even start to make the wrong choice. The film took its entire story trying to defend the idea that we should have freedom in class, but then when it came down for the jury to decide the case, they saw that in favor of a nullification. Even little things like the reporter lady questioning her salvation, the pastor not turning in his sermons, plot developments which could have been kinda interesting, but are so overplayed and underperformed that they fall by the wayside forgotten amongst everything else going on. Bottom line, it's not a good movie. It's a really, really bad movie. Oh man, guys. I just want to be rid of this thing for good. That won't happen, will it? I've read the comments, you've read the comments, we've all read the comments already. There's only one way to get rid of this thing. I have to bury it. I'll be the first to admit, I've made mistakes. I've done things which, given a second chance, would never have been done. And I know it's vain to think that I can ever be rid of my enemies. But I also know to give up is to have already lost. It doesn't matter what mistakes we make. We have to get back up and find a way. And if I know one thing, it's that God's not dead and I were destined for this fate. But maybe, just maybe, it's not too late to change that. This is it. I hope this is good enough. Hopefully never finds this. Then maybe, just maybe, we can move on from here.
David Hill, you're under arrest. Failed to produce your sermons upon court order.
Hey Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video and sticking through this very long review. I am so shocked it's not that long, and I appreciate you guys for sticking with it to the end. As always, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And I will see you all next week for another video. Until then, take it easy. Homeschool Nerd, signing out.